Hello and welcome to week 5 of the Take Flight program. All right, we're going to start with our legs hip width apart, our tailbone tucked, and we're going to go into tucking the pelvis and loading the hips. So we're combining an RDL with an explosive jump. We're putting it together. Again, this week is all about power and being dynamic. Now you have the option of taking the jump out of it and just going into a high knee, but we're going to go for 10 reps per leg, controlling ourselves as we come down, 10 reps per leg. Really trying to be dynamic, trying to get some air underneath that jump, flexing that ankle, squeezing through the glute and hamstring. Again, make sure as we're coming down, we're slowing it down. Keep that chin tucked, and again, control that landing. We want to control it coming down. We also want to try to land in the same spot if possible, and if we start moving side to side, that also shows a little instability as well in our power range. Right after we hit 10 jumps, we're going to go right into a half burpee, into a box / step jump. Now, it doesn't have to be a box as what I'm using. It can be just a step, which is just a few inches off the ground. 100% up to you on which way you decide to go. But again, the whole point of this is being dynamic. Also, later on in the next set, I'll show another option or modification that you can do other than jumping down. Now, after we complete one set of each, we're going to go right back into those single leg jumps. Again, the same thing here. Control the landing and being dynamic, trying to get that thigh parallel with the ground. We want 10 total reps per leg. Again, 10 total reps per leg. Again, we want each rep counts, each movement matters. We want to take our time as we go through this exercise. Also, consistency is key. We want to really keep going and try to get all the way through all 10 reps at once if possible. Take a break in between these two exercises. Now, as I explained earlier, here's the modification. I still want you to be explosive. This is a lower body push, so I still want you to do the half burpee and jump onto either the step or the box. But the modification here is just stepping down one leg at a time. Doesn't matter if you're using a box or if you're using a step. Again, that gives you a little bit more breathing room, a little more time to recover and to go right into the next movement, which of course is the single leg jumps. Again, 10 reps total here, and we'll go right back into our single leg jumps. We have a total of 4 sets, and we're bouncing back and forth between each one of these exercises. Again, take as much time as you need in between these two exercises. Big thing I'm looking for here is just overall movement, and being consistent and trying to connect all 10 reps together without having to pause in between those 10 reps. On top of being consistent, also control your breathing as well. We want nice and controlled breathing. Should match the movement itself. Breathing in and breathing out and just being consistent. Also, as we're doing our 10 repetitions, especially with this half burpee into a jump, feel free to mix it up. You can do some of them where you step down, and you can do some of them where you jump down. 100% up to you. Also, we can modify this even further if we want to, and with the half burpee, instead of both legs going back, we can just go one leg up at a time, and even with the jump, we can turn that into a step up. Either way, I want you activating those glutes and being dynamic. And here we go, right back into it, the single leg jumps. I really want you to focus on that hinge pattern, getting that leg back. We can also modify this as well. If you notice, I have a foot coming all the way down, toes touching down, and then coming up. Again, the big thing here is we're focusing on exploding up, that push pattern. But we are also working that backside as well, that hamstring and glute, which is slowing us down. Again, you have the option to put that toe down into the ground to gain a little bit more stability so you can be dynamic on that, raising that knee up. And if you don't need any breaks in between, feel free, just put this all together. It is a total of 4 sets. It's 10 reps of each, but it is 4 total sets. Again, bouncing back and forth between each one. Reason why we're bouncing back and forth between each one is so that we don't, with these being power moves or more dynamic movements, we don't want to over fatigue our bodies and not be able to get through all 4 sets. Up next, we're going to go into a static lateral lunge. Now, we only have 2 sets of these. I want us to tuck that tailbone, chin the chest, legs can go wider than shoulder width because I really want you to focus on bringing that hip back. Now, to start this off, we're going to go 10 reps per side. Reason why we're doing this is because we want to prime the movement. The next set, we're going to get dynamic. Here, I just want you to focus on getting settled and focus on how far apart your legs need to be and also pushing that hip back. We're now working laterally. Again, all I want is just 10 reps per side. We're going to have the one weight in the opposite hand of the leg that we're actually bending towards. Goal here is we're trying to take that weight and bring it over to that ankle. Again, big thing here, we're just movement prep. We're just trying to prime the body for what's to come next. Now, here we're going to get dynamic. Now, as we're going to alternate and hit 10 reps per side, if the weight falls, keep moving forward with it. Here, big thing here, we're just trying to connect it all together. We got 10 reps per side. Now we're connecting coordination and also being dynamic, and those glutes and hamstrings really have to work on slowing us down as we're moving side to side. We're also increasing our stability as well and working that outside glute as well as the outside part of our legs or the lateral part of our legs as we're going through this movement. Ankles are working as well, the outside and inside part of the leg, as well as a lot of knee stability as well as we're moving side to side. This overall translates into moving faster forward and backwards. The more stability you have, the faster you can move forward. The more efficient you are moving forward. We only have 2 sets of these. First set was static. This set is dynamic. Up next, we're going to go into using the band. We're going to place that band right above our knees, as well as we're also going to use the weight, and we're going to also use, if you use the box, you're going to use the box. If you use a step, you're going to be using that step. But we're going to do a banded and weight elevated glute bridge. Alright, great thing about this is with the setup, I really want those heels digging into the ground. If you can get your whole foot on the ground, fantastic if you have that ankle mobility. But big thing here is focusing on the band, pushing that band out, but also keeping that weight on our pelvis and coming up. We want to be dynamic. That band is working against us, pushing our legs in, as well as the weight is trying to keep us down on the ground. We really want to extend those hips as far up as we possibly can. We only have 10 reps per set. After we hit those 10 reps per set, we're going to go ahead and go into banded and elevated sit-ups with the weight. Big thing here is I want, as soon as your shoulders hit the ground, you're popping right back up. You're still pushing that band out, bracing that core, and really trying to take that one weight and punch the ceiling in a way. Right after that, we go right back into that glute bridge. We have 4 total sets of these. If we can connect it, fantastic. If we have to take a break in between each exercise. Try to connect those 10 reps together as much as you can. I really want you to go and get as many reps as you possibly can before you need to take a break. But again, you know your body best, so stop when needed. Big thing here again with this setup, we're just trying to tap the ground with our shoulders and we're popping right back up. And again, just transitioning right into each of these exercises. Big thing here is a lot of working posterior chain. We've already worked the front of our legs, the side of our legs. Now we just have to work the back side or that posterior chain a little bit. And also, of course, with the sit-ups, that's just an accessory movement just to get that core just a little extra exercise or extra movement, even though it's been working the entire time through all of our other movements. Again, just 4 total sets, and we just keep pushing, and if we have to take a break, take that break in between one of these 2 movements. Great job. Let's go ahead. We're going to move into our speed session. We're going to move side to side, or we're going to move laterally. Big thing here is we want to have our toes facing forward, and we want to have down into a quarter squat. From here, what we're going to do is just going to cross our feet over, try to plant that leg as fast as we can, turn those hips, and take a nice powerful step going in the opposite direction. Again, big thing here is we're working on getting shifty with those hips and also learning how to control the power that we have within our body to be able to change direction at a moment's notice. Again, this is extremely powerful. If we learn how to control the power we've gained over these last few weeks, it translates into faster 1 mile, 2 mile, 10 mile, whatever we're even sprints, it all translates into being more efficient as a runner if we can learn how to control the power. Again, big thing here, we load up into a quarter squat, step left over right, and then shoot into the other direction and vice versa. Again, footwork is key, and having a dynamic first step. That's all we're looking for, is just having a dynamic first step. Also, I really want you to focus on getting better and better, get faster and faster with each movement. Now, right after this, we're going to go into shifty hips. I want you to go ahead and drive those feet down. I really want you to bounce off those heels and shift those hips. Here we go. Bounce, shift. Bounce, 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 shift. Here we go. Keep going, keep going. Shift. And shift. Almost there, almost there, almost there. Keep going. Shift. Almost, keep bouncing, shift, one more time, shift, keep going, shift, almost, shift, and pause. Great job today. Thanks for watching.